Brilliance Audio.
The Wedding Party by Liu Xinwu, translated by Jeremy Tiang, performed by Caroline Mclaughlin. Not the beginning, more than 100 years before December 12th, 1982. Prologue. You can skip this section if you like, but why not give it a listen? A dark night soon after the Guangxu Emperor ascended the throne. In a noble Manchu household not far from the bell and drum towers, there was a blood-curdling scream. This mansion was the residence of a mere low-ranking princeling, but still magnificent. The night servants and watchmen heard the sudden cry and, in a panic, scrambled for the lights. By the flickering red tongues of candles and the glow of sheep-horns lanterns, they scoured the premises, naturally paying most attention to the lush, twisting paths of the rear garden. There wasn't a single star in the sky, and a gentle breeze ruffled the air. Discordant tinkling came from the wind chimes hanging from the great hall's eaves. The housekeeper and major domo gathered the servants in the official hall and asked them to report what they'd found. Not a single person had seen anything out of the ordinary, and there were no signs of intruders anywhere in the mansion. It seemed the awful cry had come from a passing cat. This was, of course, a bad omen and required precautions. The housekeeper gave instructions to send for Buddhist and Taoist monks from Longfu Temple and White Cloud Monastery at daybreak, so they could carry out a sacrifice and avert catastrophe. Everything seemed to go back to normal. The additional lights were extinguished, the off-duty staff dismissed. Soon, there were just the usual night servants and watchmen patrolling the garden walls. The thick cover of clouds cracked open, and a sliver of pale moonlight spilled to earth. The mansion's silhouette gradually revealed itself, then all the buildings in the north of the city became visible. Right at the northernmost point of the city, the majestic bell and drum towers rose high above them all. From the drum tower, also known as the watchtower, came a flurry of drum beats to signal the changing of the watch, shattering the night stillness. A swarm of fireflies flew past its walls. This seemed like an ordinary night, exactly like the one before and the one after. Daylight slowly arrived. As the sun turned from crystalline yellow to silvery blue, the slumbering city awoke. The street in front of the drum tower was crammed with shops. Banners in distinctive styles and eye-catching colors fluttered in the breeze. Mule carts passed by in both directions, metal-plated wheels scraping jarringly on the flagstones. Vendors of millet paste, tofu pudding, and roasted sweet potatoes were out in force, and artisans were striding down the street bellowing, "Hooped buckets here!" and "Scrap metal collector, bring out your scrap metal!" Flower girls wandered the alleys, the hutongs calling out alluringly, "Peonies for sale, choose your own!" The street performers with powdered white noses clashed cymbals and begged for coins. Strangest of all of these were the two mouse men, one behind the other, each holding a white paper flag with a picture of a rodent nibbling at stolen food. The man in front called out hoarsely, "Mousetrap! Trap a mouse!" And the one behind in a gravelly voice, "Rat poison! One dose kills a whole nest! What a bargain!" Not far to the southwest of the bell and drum towers were the famous Shicha seas. These seas were in fact shallow lakes, half covered in lotus flowers, half planted with rice. Apparently, there used to be many temples on these shores, hence the name Shicha, 10 temples. Between the front and Black Seas was a little stone crossing named after its shape, Silver Ingot Bridge. At one end of the bridge lived a family who sold bean juice out of their home. Bean juice is a little like soy milk. You make it by soaking mung beans in water, then mashing and fermenting them. The resulting starch is removed to make glass noodles, and the bean paste and black powder filtered off. The sourish liquid behind is bean juice. If you hadn't acquired a taste for it, particularly if you'd recently moved north to Beijing, you'd want to throw up after your first mouthful.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?